Susan Gardner here for Municipal World. We're at the 2019 annual conference for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities in beautiful Quebec City. Joining me in the Municipal World Media Center is FCM President Vicki-May Hamm. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, we're into nearing the end of day 2 of the conference, and I wanted to take the opportunity to reflect with you on the accomplishments of FCM over the past year while you've been sitting in the president's chair at the board for FCM.
There's a lot to say to cover the last year. A lot has been done. I would say to start, one thing that will really stay in my mind for a long time is Budget 2019. Because it was a really interesting experience, and it was realizing how FCM has a very big authority, and being on the Hill while the budget is being announced, and realizing that there are pieces, very important pieces in there for our members. It was a really big achievement. So I think that's one of the things I will remember for a long time about my year. There's been a lot has gone, but and working on the federal elections that are coming up also. I know you're going to want to talk about that.
I absolutely am going to want to talk about that. So we've heard from some of the leaders already here making their pitch to Canada's municipalities about why they're the best to lead the country in the next term. What are you thinking about what we've heard here at the conference?
Well, I find it very interesting when all the leaders say mostly what we want to hear them say, because what FCM is trying to do is to make sure that our priorities are in their platforms.
Yes.
So when they're saying it in front of 2,000 delegates, maybe if it isn't officially yet in their platforms, we'll remind them that they said it, you know?
Yes.
So hearing things about, the modernized relationship with the municipalities, how can we work closer together, make it more efficient? We've heard it from everyone. Hearing things about how it's important also that the money that's flowing down to municipalities be predictable, long term, and for all sizes of municipalities. And we've had the chance to have Minister Jordan with us through the whole conference also, so we've talked a lot about the rural aspect, and we've been asking for a rural lens, and we can see that's clearly so everything that not everything, there's still a lot to ask for, but when you hear that, you say, okay, well, FCM has done a really good job.
They've heard the message.
Yeah, they've heard the message, and they're delivering the message. So yeah, I'm pretty proud about that, definitely.
So what are some of the challenges that you've heard about as you've connected with communities and associations across the country during your term? What are some of the challenges that you've heard about from communities?
Oh boy, okay, there's a lot. Let's say broadband. I've heard a lot of talk about broadband, and me personally, I have a hard time to believe that in 2019 we haven't solved that yet.
It is shocking.
It is shocking. So that we hear a lot about. We hear a lot about the problems also that programs, most of the norms and the programs have criterias that make, for example, smaller communities are not eligible for these programs, and they have the same problems, because we hear, for example, climate changes. So there's a mitigation program, but it's for $20 billion projects and above. But smaller communities also have those challenges.
They sure do.
So that's why we've been asking, like I said, for a while, for a rural, and I should say rural and remote lens.
Yes.
We've added that this weekend. But so I hear a lot about that, and then the challenges in the big cities, with all the transit that are really big pieces, and they have to plan like more than 10 years ahead. I mean, the mayor of Edmonton was saying, I have a new hospital opening in 9 years. 9 years. So I have to plan my urban planning for that, the transit, the housing around it, the parking, and all that. And I don't know if I'm going to have the funding. So 10 years may seem a long time, but urban planning in big cities, 10 years is short.
Yes.
So we've been hearing a lot of that, and that's what we've been asking. And we have really good, they're listening, definitely.
That's good. So they're hitting all the right points when they're talking. For your members, what are the strategies you want them to be taking home to their communities to be holding candidates accountable in the upcoming months?
They will receive all the information from FCM, so they can meet with their local MPs, they can meet with the people that are running in the different parties, they can definitely, in their local newspapers, spread the news. I mean, FCM really gives all the information we need to be able to do that, and I think more we are doing that across Canada, the stronger the message is. And that's one thing that came out really strong also. The recent polling we did really showed that Canadians across Canada, from big or small cities, have the same priorities, and they trust us more than any other order of government.
Yes.
So we're really in a good position right now.
That's fantastic. So lots of exciting times ahead, and as the federal election approaches, I wanted to take this opportunity to also recognize you. Municipal World recognized you earlier this year as a woman of influence in local government. And I just want to say it's been amazing watching your leadership of FCM and over the past months, and congratulations to you. Susan Gardner here for Municipal World with Vicki-May Hamm, President of FCM. We share your stories.